Greed, stop! It's not free!
Greed, stop. Don't do it. The sea goddess rushed forward, her voice echoing through the sacred temple as waves crashed around her feet. Amara's hand froze, only a finger away from the glowing golden coin. The coin floated in the air, shining so brightly that its light covered the entire temple. The beautiful woman dressed in gold smiled calmly. "You are too late," she said softly. "The choice belongs to her." Amara's heart pounded. She looked at the golden coin. Then she looked at the 3 worried goddesses standing behind her. She whispered, "Why are you trying to stop me? It's only 1 coin." The goddess of greed stepped closer. "Because they fear what they cannot control." Before anyone could answer, the story began 3 days earlier. The people of Amani village had forgotten what happiness felt like. Children cried because there was no food. Farmers stared at empty fields. Even the river that had fed the village for generations was becoming dry. Among those suffering was a young woman named Amara. She was only 18 years old. She lived with her sick grandmother inside a small mud house with a leaking roof. Every morning before sunrise, she carried firewood to the market. Every evening, she returned home with just enough food to survive another day. Sometimes, not even that. One evening, Amara opened a small clay pot. Only 2 handfuls of rice remained. She sighed. Her grandmother noticed. "My child." Amara quickly forced a smile. "I'm fine, Grandma. You don't have to pretend." "I'm not pretending. You've been pretending ever since your parents died." Amara looked away. She didn't want her grandmother to see the tears forming in her eyes. She whispered, "If I cry, who will stay strong for us?" Her grandmother slowly held her hand. "You already carry too much." Amara smiled sadly. "I can carry a little more." The next morning, she left for the forest to gather firewood. While walking, she heard someone screaming, "Help! Somebody help!" Amara dropped her bundle and ran toward the voice. An old man had fallen into a deep ditch. He was too weak to climb out. "My daughter, please don't leave me here." Without thinking about herself, Amara climbed down. She pushed with all her strength until the old man finally reached the top. He looked at her with grateful eyes. "I have nothing to give you." "You don't owe me anything," Amara replied. He smiled. "People like you are rare." As he walked away, Amara noticed something strange. 4 glowing lights appeared around the old man. One was gold, one was blue, one was silver, and one was green. She blinked. The lights disappeared. "What was that?" she whispered. She searched the area. Nothing. That night, she couldn't stop thinking about it. After dinner, her grandmother quietly asked, "What troubles you?" "I saw something impossible." "Tell me." "I saw 4 lights." Her grandmother became silent. "What colors?" "Gold, blue, silver, and green." Her face changed. She slowly stood up. "My grandmother once told me a story." "What story?" "A story about the 4 goddesses." Amara laughed softly. "Grandma, those are only legends." "Are they?" "They are stories people tell children." Her grandmother walked to an old wooden box hidden beneath her bed. Inside was a faded cloth wrapped around a small stone. She placed it in Amara's hand. "This has belonged to our family for generations." Amara examined it. Ancient symbols were carved on its surface. "What does it mean?" "No one knows, but every first daughter in our family has protected it." "Why?" "Because one day," her grandmother looked directly into Amara's eyes, "the 4 goddesses would return for the human they had chosen." Amara laughed again. "You actually believe that?" Before her grandmother could answer, a loud thunder shook the entire village. The ground trembled beneath their feet. The clay lamp suddenly went out. Then a golden light appeared outside the window. Amara slowly walked toward the door. Another light appeared. Blue, then silver, then green. The 4 lights floated silently toward the sacred hill. Her grandmother grabbed her arm. Don't go. What if someone needs help? No, there is no one on that hill. Then what are those lights? Her grandmother's voice became almost a whisper. They are not looking for someone. They are looking for you. Amara felt her heart skip a beat. For me? Yes. You must never follow them. But why? Because no human who answers the call of the 4 goddesses ever returns the same. Amara looked back at the glowing lights. They waited, as if they knew she was watching. She took one slow step toward the door, then another. Behind her, her grandmother called out one last time, Amara, if you leave tonight, your life will never belong to you. The lights suddenly moved faster toward the top of the sacred hill. Amara took a deep breath. Then she began to follow them.
The 4 glowing lights floated silently through the dark forest. Amara followed them without making a sound. She wanted to turn back. She wanted to listen to her grandmother. But every step she took made it harder to stop. It felt as though something invisible was pulling her forward. Soon, she reached the top of the sacred hill. An enormous stone temple stood before her. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. Ancient pillars reached into the sky. Golden symbols glowed across the massive doors. The 4 lights stopped. Slowly, the doors opened by themselves. A deep voice echoed through the temple. Enter. Amara's legs trembled. Who's there? No one answered. She gathered her courage and stepped inside. The doors closed behind her with a loud boom. Suddenly, thousands of candles burst into life. The temple became as bright as daylight. In the center stood 4 magnificent thrones. The first throne shone with pure gold. The second flowed with moving water. The third glowed beneath a silver moon. The 4th was covered with vines and emerald crystals. Then 4 women appeared, each more beautiful than any human Amara had ever seen. The woman dressed in gold smiled first. I am Aurelia, the goddess of greed. The woman surrounded by water stepped forward. I am Marina, the sea goddess. The silver-haired woman smiled gently. I am Lunara, the moon goddess. Finally, the woman crowned with branches spoke. I am Terra, the land goddess. Amara slowly fell to her knees. I never believed you were real. Marina smiled kindly. Most humans don't. Lunara added, but you came. Terra looked into Amara's eyes. You came because your heart is different. Aurelia walked closer. And because your greatest desire has finally become stronger than your fear. Amara shook her head. I don't understand. What do you want most? Aurelia asked. Amara hesitated. I want my grandmother to stop suffering. I want food in our house. I want to stop worrying every morning. I want a better life. Aurelia smiled wider. Exactly. She lifted one finger. A single gold coin appeared. Then another. Then another. Within seconds, the temple floor was covered with mountains of gold. Jewels sparkled everywhere. Golden crowns, diamonds, treasure chests. Everything a human could dream of. Amara covered her mouth. I've never seen so much gold. It can all be yours, Aurelia said. Mine? Yes, for free. Take only one coin. One coin will become another and another. Soon your family will never know poverty again. Amara stared at the treasure. She imagined buying medicine for her grandmother, repairing their home, feeding every hungry child in the village. The dream felt real. Marina suddenly stepped between them. No, Aurelia frowned. Move. I won't. Marina looked directly at Amara. Listen to me. There is always a price. Aurelia laughed softly. Why must you frighten the girl? I'm offering her hope. Lunara gently shook her head. No, you are offering temptation. Terra crossed her arms. No wealth appears without consequence. Aurelia looked back at Amara. They fear change. They fear seeing humans rise. Amara swallowed. I don't want trouble. I only want to help my grandmother. And you can, Aurelia replied. Just one coin. She stretched out her hand. The brightest gold coin floated toward Amara, its bright light reflected in her eyes. Marina reached toward her. Amara, please, trust your heart, Lunara whispered. Hope is stronger than gold. Terra added, the easiest path is rarely the safest. Amara closed her eyes. If I refuse, my grandmother may die. If I accept, maybe everything will finally change. She slowly lifted her hand. Marina's face filled with fear. Greed, stop! She rushed forward. Don't speak it, Amara. It's not free. But Amara's fingers had already touched the coin. A blinding golden light exploded across the temple. The treasure vanished. The temple shook violently. Silence followed. Amara looked at her left hand. A glowing golden mark had appeared on her wrist. What is this? Aurelia smiled in satisfaction. Our agreement. I never agreed to anything. You accepted my gift. Marina lowered her head. The price has begun. Lunara looked at Amara with sadness. I hope your heart stays stronger than the gold. Terra's voice became heavy. The fate of humanity has changed tonight. Amara's heart raced. I don't understand. What price? What have I done? Before anyone answered, the golden mark glowed. Once, twice, then a deep roar echoed beneath the temple floor. The walls trembled. Dust fell from the ceiling. Even the four goddesses attained silence. Marina whispered, It has started. Aurelia looked toward the darkness beneath the temple. A mysterious smile appeared on her face. The journey cannot be stopped now. Amara stood frozen. She had entered the temple hoping for a miracle. Instead, she had awakened something she could not understand. And somehow, her simple choice to accept a single coin had changed everything. If you enjoyed the beginning of Human and the Goddesses, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for episode 2, The Price of Love, and tell us in the comments, would you have taken the gold or walked away?